This is WFYI News Now. It's November 5th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, some Indiana voters decided on education referendums in this year's election. The company behind a proposed data center in the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood files a rezoning application with the city. And the Indianapolis LGBT Film Festival is celebrating 25 years of film in the city. The genre has grown significantly since the organization was founded in 2001.
Just because we're seeing more queer people in mainstream media doesn't necessarily mean that everyone in the queer community is getting represented.
Those stories coming up, but first. More than 570,000 Hoosiers receive federal food benefits, including nearly 150,000 people across central Indiana. As the government shutdown continues, SNAP benefits could be partially funded. Farrah Anderson reports it may take weeks for people to receive the assistance.
Emily Weichert Bryant is the executive director of Feeding Indiana's Hungry, a nonprofit with 11 member food banks that serve all 92 Indiana counties. She says even though partial payments are good news, SNAP benefits rarely cover everything families need.
We fully expect to continue seeing families in need of food assistance, even with the benefits going out, simply because there's just not enough there.
Bryant says many food banks are seeing more families stocking up in case of further delays. There's no date yet when SNAP will resume. In Indiana, benefits are usually made available from the 5th to the 23rd of every month, based on the first letter of the person's last name. I'm Farrah Anderson.
Indiana voters decided several school tax questions Tuesday. The most watched was in Avon, where a statewide official weighed in. Eric Weddle has more.
Avon voters approved a property tax renewal for school funding. The levy is at a lower rate than voters supported in 2018. Unofficial results showed nearly 65% voted yes. District leaders say the money helps keep classes smaller, supports student programs, and keeps pay competitive. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith campaigned against the measure. He knocked on doors and urged a no vote on social media. Avon officials called that an intrusion into a local decision. 1 southern and 3 northwest Indiana districts also passed their school tax questions. Northwest Allen County Schools measure failed. I'm Eric Weddle.
The company behind a proposed data center in the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood filed a rezoning application with the city. Metro Blocks wants to build the facility on a nearly 14-acre plot of land on Sherman Avenue at the site of a former drive-in theater. Data centers are buildings that store and process vast amounts of digital information. Sierra Johnson is with One Voice Martindale Brightwood. The group has protested the project.
We would like to see development that is in alignment with our quality of life plan, which definitely has an environmental justice component, but also has wellness components.
Metro Blocks says it will work with the utility company to prevent financial impact to neighborhood residents. A hearing with the Metropolitan Development Commission to rezone the property is not scheduled yet. And for our final story today, the 25th anniversary of the Indianapolis LGBT Film Festival is this weekend. I sat down with festival committee member Ted Lether to talk about the history of the event and its impact in Indianapolis. How did the Indianapolis LGBT Film Festival first get its start?
The first festival was back in 2001. And this is a time when there wasn't a whole lot of representation of the queer community in the media. And so it really was like festivals like this that really allowed people to center queerness in their stories. And so there were a couple other festivals that had started early around the country. And a group of people here were like, hey, we could have this in Indianapolis as well. So.
How has the festival evolved?
Wow. If you kind of think about how society has evolved or changed, or just the attitudes towards the queer community has changed, we're starting to see like more representation of queer people in maybe not mainstream media, but certainly like on Netflix or just like in social media and that kind of thing. And so how we've kind of have adapted is just really kind of like focusing on just the different stories, making sure that different communities, different intersectionalities are represented as well. So just because we're seeing more queer people in mainstream media doesn't necessarily mean that everyone in the queer community is getting represented. So, of course, like we're thinking trans people, we're thinking Black people, Asian people, even communities outside the United States, which we really don't think about how are they living. And so we get films from all over the world.
What are some of the highlights or standout events attendees can look forward to at this year's festival?
Premiere night, which is the 7th, we are going to be showing a documentary called Is Dorothy, which talks about Dorothy Gale, for Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, the importance of that character, Judy Garland, which she was always beloved by the queer community, but it was her death kind of coincided with the Stonewall riots and the first Pride. Of course, like the rainbow is like the most like known like a gay symbol or flag, which is related to Over the Rainbow, Wizard of Oz kind of thing. So the filmmaker, who is Jeffrey McHale, he may or may not be coming down. We're not really sure, but yeah, it'd be really great if he does, so you can interact with him. So Sunday, one of our favorite filmmakers, Kevin Hartford, is coming down from Halifax, Nova Scotia, for his movie To the Moon. So and we'll have a Q&A with him afterwards, so we're definitely looking forward to that.
What do you hope audiences take away from this year's milestone celebration?
I hope that they take away just how big we are, our creativity, and our culture, and the importance of queer art and queer culture, but also how cool it is, right? So, and also it is important to support queer art and queer cinema. That's been true for more than 25 years for sure, but it's certainly been true for all 25 years. I think it will continue to be true for the next 25 plus years as well. So no matter how much progress I think that we're making, we need to continually step up and support the queer community, queer art, queer cinema.
Thank you so much, Ted.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.